During the next couple of hours I'm going to explore the place where Hungary's worst industrial disaster happened 15 years ago. 10 people died and hundreds have been injured. And all of this has to do with this dam you can see here, or actually with what used to be behind this dam. So going to explore this place, hope that I can get wherever I want to get. To be honest, right now I am already in an area where I don't really think it's allowed to walk around, but anyway, seems like nobody cares. So I'm trying to find out if there are any traces of this catastrophe, any visible traces that still can be observed. It is really difficult to get to the places where I actually wanted to go, because everywhere you got signs like that. Mining area, it's not allowed and dangerous to go inside, but I think that only applies if you go to the right here, and I think it's okay if you keep on this trail. So at least it seems to be okay for some people to deposit their waste here. Anyway, let's go. This is where it all started. This is where the dam broke, as you can see. And from it, a tsunami of, I think, 1 million cubic meters of toxic red mud rolled down this way with a height of up to 2 meters, and as you can see here, can you see that red stuff here? So these are the remains of this red mud. So what is this all about? So the red mud is a waste product of aluminum production. So they take the aluminum ore, the bauxite, and mix it with, oh, there's the car. Better go back. Okay, guy doesn't seem to be interested in me. So I think from this viewpoint you can well imagine what has happened. You just have to imagine that the wave of this red mud was up to 2 meters high, and in this place maybe even higher, and it was, as I said, 1 million cubic meters. Now, what makes this red mud so toxic? There were basically two things. One of them, which makes it toxic in the short run, is the sodium hydroxide, which is highly alkaline and, yeah, of course will burn your skin if you touch it. Another thing is heavy metals. So there's some dispute about this topic, because the government, the Hungarian government, by the way, this was the first year when Viktor Orban took over or got elected, and the government officials say that it actually wasn't that bad. There were only little amounts of, I think, cadmium, mercury, and what else? Arsenic. But other people, among them Greenpeace, made their own measurements, and they found much higher degrees, higher amounts of these toxic heavy metals. And of course, these might not be so dangerous in the short term, but when you look here, there's a lot of agriculture still being done. And this, of course, should be an issue. But the thing is, they have invested a large sum of money into cleaning this place. I think it was 130 or 140 million euros, which have been spent to clean the place. This is interesting. I hope this is not toxic water, but it looks a little bit red. By the way, I need to explain some more about this red mud. So they take the bauxite, the aluminum ore, and mix it with sodium hydroxide, and this somehow separates the aluminum oxide, which is then used to produce the aluminum by an electrolytic process, separates it from other stuff. And one ingredient is iron oxide, and that's what actually makes this stuff red. Okay, I'm just wondering where I should go. So I came from here. I think I will at least try to go back there, because this, maybe you can see the church over there. This is Kolontár, the village that has been heavily affected. I have to say that there are still no obvious traces from this catastrophe. You can see definitely that a lot of soil has been moved, but aside from that, nothing really special. I remember when I was here about, I think 10 years ago, you could see something on the tree, on the trunks of the trees, and maybe, I'm not really sure if that's it, could be. So at that time you could see at the trunks of some trees where the red mud, up to which height it came, and it was colored red. And I think you can see it here. So the bark looks differently here on the top, differently than below. And it could be, I'm not really sure, but it could be that this is where the red mud, the height of the red mud, which is about 1 meter and 50 in this case. And I really think that this is the case. I mean, it's no longer reddish, but it's about the same height for all of these trees. But that's of course a really subtle trace of that disaster. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so next place I'm going to visit is Kolontár, which is over there. Okay, Kolontár. Nice little village, as it seems today. I think they have spent a lot of money for renewing all kinds of things. So all of this was flooded. maybe not the higher areas. So, yeah, Hungarian village, nothing fancy, but so I believe that this part of Kolontár was hit the hardest, but I think all of the houses still exist, and they probably have removed all the toxic soil from the ground and have replaced it, and now, well, looks like some people might have left the place, but aside from that, it really looks quite nice. This seems to be a memorial place for the victims of that catastrophe. (2010) October the 4th. The Vörös Iszap, which means red mud catastrophe, and you have I think probably the names of the people who died. I think there is also another place over there where you can see how the houses looked after they have been flooded by the Vörös Iszap. Oh yeah, that's what it looked like. So I am not really sure if this is original. Yeah, it must be, I would say. And again, here you can definitely see this is where the red mud came up to, about 1.50 meters to 1.60 meters in this case. This is how it could have looked inside. Yeah, I really think that this has just been kept in its original state. So that's what it looked like. Okay, some interesting pictures. Yeah. So this is where the dam broke, and this is Kolontár. So this is where I have been. Dam broke, and this is where the red mud ran down. That's what it looked like. Of course, many animals have also been killed. Well, a car couldn't really protect you. Cleaning work. Yeah, that was in 2010, 15 years ago. And if you don't know what happened here, it all looks really normal. which of course is a good sign. And also it looks like it was not that huge environmental catastrophe. Even though the red mud got into the rivers, the Varba River, and a few days after the event it was also measured in the Danube River, but it was not deleted, but diluted so much that it didn't seem to be an issue. Finally, let's go up to that church. I mean, for some reason they have built the church on top of a little hill. Maybe they knew something other people didn't know. Let me see if I can get inside. It looks closed. Oh yeah. Maybe the other door. Nope. There is a place named Szabadság Domb, Freedom Hill. Sounds interesting. Must be up there. So let's go. I'm not sure, but I think that's it. I think that's Freedom Hill, which seems to be a soccer field. So they built the church and the soccer field on hills that were not affected by the red mud. But you do have a nice view from here over Kolontár, and in the background you can also see Ajka with, you can also see the dam and the chimneys of the aluminum plant, which I think is no longer working. So finally, that's it from Kolontár. Gonna stay 2 more weeks in Hungary, and we'll probably do some more videos. So hope to see you next time.